Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. It's 2023, so happy new year. We've had a bit of a break from our YouTube for about 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't picked the camera up, so I'm a bit rusty. But just thought I'd give you a glimpse of our new room. We've had a conservatory here for about 25 years. We've lived in the property 27 years, and we had this about 4 metre by 4 metre conservatory built, and we've had a new cosy roof put on, which the roof was getting a little bit tired and old, but the foundation, the brickwork and the frames were all pretty good. We've had the glazing refreshed, and here we are in the new room. That was a project that we did as soon as we got back from Europe back in October, and it was just finished in time for Christmas. The decorator finished and the electrician did all the bits and bobs. So we're going to enjoy this cosy new room whilst we're at home. That's enough about our house. You want to hear about our van, don't you? It's outside. We've been getting it ready all week, and we're going to our regular little meet-up out at Saxtead, which is always the first January in the year, or first weekend in January of each year. And of course Nick and Carol and Sheila and Joe are going to be with us. As if we haven't done enough eating and drinking already over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to do some more. Well, we're out on the drive here, and for those of you who are new to the channel, I know there's been quite a few who have joined us recently, we keep Smirf at home. Smirf is our VW Crafter van conversion made by IH Motorhomes in Nottingley in Yorkshire, and Smirf was bought in July 2021. It's a new van at the time, and it has a rear lounge with a side washroom and kitchen opposite side. But what I've got to do now, because it's January, I've got to bring Smirf out of hibernation. He was winterized and packed away since we finished in mid-December. We had those really frosty days up in Derbyshire and in the Cotswolds, and we packed him away. We've drained all the water down at the system, and we made sure that he was protected from winter as best we could. So I've got to reverse all that now, so I'll walk around the van and tell you what I've been doing over the last couple of hours. So first things first, I did pop the bonnet, and I've checked the oil, and I've also checked the screen wash, which I did top up before we left Derbyshire, so I knew it was pretty good, but I topped it up again. Smirf had a good wash the other day. I gave him a really good soap and a good clean, got into all the nooks and crannies as best I could. I noticed I've missed a little bit on the wheel arch there, but did the wheels. I have been out to fill up with diesel and add blue, and I'll show you that round the other side in a moment. But I'm just in the process of filling up with fresh water. Now, rather than get my hose out, I've used the watering can. This is a 10-litre watering can, and I've put 6 of those in already, and that one is a 7th. But because I almost forgot to turn the drain tap off, and I lost about, I don't know, a couple of mugfuls. This is the waste drain off. I've also closed that, but that's now closed, and I've been filling up from there. Now this is the toilet cassette. I have checked that this morning. I've topped it up with green. We use a Elson green. And incidentally, we did try using the Sol Bio. We took it to Europe with us in quite extreme high temperatures. It was in the upper 30s Celsius whilst we were in Italy, and for whatever reason we just couldn't get on with it. We tried it again back home, and we just couldn't get on with it. We did all the things that you should do, like clean the cassette thoroughly, make sure there was no residue from other chemicals. We really did try our best to make it work. We wanted to be environmentally friendly. We're now back to Elson Green, which is what we were on before. We tend to get on with it, and I always put an extra dollop in. You know, I probably use more than I should, but at least it's fresh, and our Sol Bio just didn't mask the smells, and it was pretty awful, to be honest. So not for us. Maybe it works for you, but it didn't for us. Still on hookup, and just brought bags of stuff in. I've just dumped it in there. We've still got the steering lock on. Let's go around the other side of the van, and we've got a external screen there. Nice new mat. Must be Christmas. Thank you, Laura. Put back in the van here now. I've got to prime the taps and make sure that there's water in the boiler, in the Truma boiler. So controls are up here. Switch the panel on, and that should... oh, incidentally, this is the LPG, and I filled that up at Morrison's yesterday. I put in 6 litres, yeah, 6 litres, which is roughly 6 kilograms, and it was £4.20 or something like that. It was 79 pence a litre, and well, you can't go wrong really, can you? Here we are, this is the panel, and showing that we've got a full tank of water now, and an empty tank of waste. The clock's not quite right, but that's that. Brought me power oak in. We'll take that because we're going to be off grid this weekend. Off grid in winter? Yes, we can do it. Now I need to oh, hang on, you can hear yourself, Trev. Up here is the pump. I think it's, isn't that one? Or that one? That one. There we are. Now hear the pump kick in. It's running dry at the moment, so let's just get the taps. I open this gingerly. Sue closed all these taps this morning when she came in, but if I put it on hot and lift the valve here, that's now pushing air out, and it's sucking fresh water from the freshwater tank into the boiler. There is a drain down cock inside the, or underneath the bunk just behind here, which you have to put in a vertical position, and that will drain all the water out of the boiler. So we did that the other week. There's about 10 litres in the Truma boiler, so that's a watering can full. So we're just pumping that 10 litres through, and then I'll put that watering can that's outside into the fresh tank, and we should be full when we leave. We're only away for 2 nights, so that should be sufficient water for us for 2 nights. Water's starting to come through now. Sometimes you get a spluttering of air. Yeah, that's quite neat, that's come through quite well. So that's now primed. Pop those back in there. That's just for when we're going along. The toilet is here. We've got this jerry can that we put in a plastic bag just in case of leaks, but the jerry can's got our drinking water in. That's a 5 litre or 6 litre jerry can, enough for using with the kettle. Here we are in the back. This is our general waste and recycle bin, a dual bin, which you've probably seen before, with two bins and bin liners. That goes in the cab normally when we're on board. And here we are. So let's pop round the other side and I'll just explain to you what else I've been doing. I haven't left the vehicle for 3 or 4 weeks. I always check the tyres. I've got a tyre pumper upper, which I'll show you in a minute. The front ones on the Crafter should be £58 per square inch, and on the back it's £71 per square inch, and that's laden or unladen as it happens. So they're checked, and this is the little tool that I use. It's called Tire Well. I got it from Amazon actually, with an Amazon voucher that a relative gave me for my birthday a couple of years ago, and I put some money towards it. I think it was about £50 or thereabouts. It's a dual pump on here with pressure gauge, and in the front here you've got a nice extension, which is really handy on a bigger van, because there's always a problem with the lead. It's got quite a nice long 12 volt lead here, which I've got coiled up packed it all away. I'm taking it with me because Joe's pump has not been working well, so he wanted to check his tyres, and I said I'll bring my pump along and we can check yours when we're on site. So that's what's going to happen. But with really, or I really like this. It's really useful. And incidentally, if you always forget, like me, what your tyre pressure should be, if you a bit short, have a short memory, I have this behind my sun visor, and if you go on the internet, you can put in your registration number, and it will tell you what tyres you should have, and also what pressures they should be. So we've got 205/75R16s, and the rear 71, and the front 58, and that's both unladen and laden. I've also got this little thing here, look, Smirf VW Crafter, and then on the back I've got, oh, it's upside down, sorry about that. I've got the width, the length and the height in meters and feet, for when we go in tight spaces. So as you can see, the tyres are Continentals, and they're all-season tyres. They're not all-terrain, which we thought might be a bit noisy. We've gone for the all-season, and the way you could tell is there is a little mountain sign there, which shows they're allowed to use these on the continent in between October and March, I think it is now. Anyway, I've got put this water in there, so while I do that, I'll switch the camera off and I'll come back to you in a second. Well, folks have said to me, how do I keep my van secure and safe on the drive at home? I haven't done a video about security features on my van before, because I think it's playing into the hands of anybody or any opportunist that wants to get into my van. But all I will say is that we do have a steering lock on it, we have a clutch claw on it, we have wheel clamps as well. We have 2 wheel clamps that we can put on this vehicle, and we have done when it's standing for periods of time. And also we have an auto watch tracker and auto watch alarm as well. That was a feature needed for the Caravan and Motorhome Club insurance, but we've used them for a number of years, and they did request that we have that fitted. In fact, they wouldn't offer us a quote without it. We also have CCTV on the house, and if anybody attempts to break into the van or move the van, not only do we know because the CCTV alerts me on my mobile phone, but also the tracker people contact me as well, and they've been pretty good over the past 12 months. I think we've had 2, perhaps 3 calls from them, and there have been incidents which have been, they've not been a threat to the van. One was a thunderstorm, one was when I moved it and set the alarm off on myself by accident, and I can't remember what the third one was, but anyway, it was soon after we'd had the van actually. But it was a good policy. They have 2 phone numbers to call. They have both Sue's and mine mobile numbers to call, so if we're in a difficult spot or where there's no signal, usually either Sue or myself have signal because we're on O2 and Vodafone. Now, I'm throwing lots of information at you, but I hope some of this is useful to you. I thought it would be good at the beginning of the year to tell you all the things that I have to think about at the beginning of a season, and on top of insuring the van and getting, well, MOT is not needed yet for another couple of years, but as we go along we always have to remind ourselves of all the little bits and bobs to get sorted at the beginning of the season. Well, we emptied a lot of the gear out that we don't use in the winter. We've got still got 2 power leads in here. I'm not going to need them this weekend, but I'm going to take them anyway. I've got the levelers here, might need levelers. I've got my seats, a table, and a little prep table, little folding table. And so Sue's packed some food and drink and all the things we need in the cupboards to survive for 3 days, and I've just packed all my books and brochures and things because we're going to do a bit of planning. There's some maps and so on. I've got my laptop on board, and we've got to do the school run now, so we'll come back to you once we've done that and we get on the road to Saxtead in Suffolk. Well, good morning. It's the next morning. We had a lovely meal in the old mill house last night. Here's a little bit of footage. I was stugging.
It's yummy, doesn't it?
Roasted vegetable lasagna with vegetables, rather a lot, and chips.
Yeah, and a large wine, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look. See, that's why she's so happy. And here, Carol over here, look, she's got the same, but she's got fries with hers. Cajun chicken for Nick. Can't quite see it. Hang on. Cajun chicken for Nick. Joe's gone for the pie. Look at the lid on that. Yeah, he's having a look to see what's inside. Sheila's gone for the windmill chicken. And I've gone for the pie as well, with vegetables. And I might have to go for another ghost ship in a minute. Have fun. Well, we've all gone for sorbets, except Joe, who's gone spotted dick and custard. Nick over there was profiteroles and chocolate everywhere. The posh one, yeah. And then us civilised types with our sorbets. Okay, you've got a raspberry one there, Sue. And
very nice.
Carol's got lemon, but I've got lemon and raspberry. I had to be different, didn't I? And I'm standing up here by the mill at Saxtead. It's an English heritage site, so it's closed in the winter. Unfortunately, we keep saying that we must come back in the summer and have a look around this, and we'll do our best to bring it to you this summer. It's the first weekend in January 2023, and it's our first outing of the season, and we're at the Old Mill House pub at Saxtead Green. Beautiful little spot. There's quite a few cars about this morning, surprisingly, but it's in a little village not far from Framlingham in Suffolk, and Framlingham, of course, is famous for its castle, amongst other things. It's a beautiful old town in the middle of Suffolk, really. It's not coastal, but it's very pretty, and I think we're going to take you along for a little glimpse of Framlingham later on, as long as the weather holds, because we are forecast to have rain a little later this morning. I'm going to walk back to the pub now, and we'll show you the outside of the pub and where we're parked. Well, here's the old Mill House pub. It's been here since the 1600s, I believe. This part on the front here is the original building, and there's a little roadway through the side round to the car park behind, and you're on this road here that leads to Framlingham, and the extension to the restaurant is on the back here, with the car park that runs down to the rear with outside seating for summertime. But it's lovely out here in the summer. And then there's a football goalpost just over there with a bit of a pitch, sort of small pitch for the children to play with the children's playground. Deserted today, it's pretty chilly out here. But this is 10 vans here this weekend, all parked in the car park, a mix of caravans and motorhomes. And Smirf's just here on the right. So you probably remember from previous vlogs, we've been here on a number of occasions now. First rally of the year, they call it, and Nick and Carol have been running this for a number of years. It was cancelled for 1 year, I think, for COVID, but apart from that, it's been running. And of course, Nick and Ruth, who are the landlords and owners of this pub, always welcome motorhomes. So if you want to stay overnight, it's always best to ring ahead and ask them if you can stay in the car park behind the pub. And the restaurant is really nicely priced and excellent menu. And they also do a carvery, not all the time, but there is a carvery, and Sunday lunches are just excellent. So we're going to go for a walk now. Just waiting to get everyone together, and we're going to go into Framlingham. Well, we've walked to Framlingham. It's taken us about 30 to 40 minutes. It's about 2.5 miles. Quite blustery across the fields, and we've just had a short, sharp shower. But we're not surprised. It did forecast rain. We're in the town of Framlingham now. Give you a few shots of the town square here with the little market. It's really pretty.